I was born in South Arkansas and also raised there. Both of my parents grew up in Warren, Arkansas. It's a small town, 6,000 or 7,000 people, and it was truly a blessing to grow up in the community with the support and relationships that we had there. I attended University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. I originally went there to pursue a degree in, biology or chemistry where I could ultimately go to medical school. And a friend of mine early on, even I think first semester of freshman year, mentioned to me this concept of chemical engineering. I had never heard of a chemical engineer before. She told me that if you can do math, you can do chemical engineering. I'm like, cool. So I checked it out, ultimately got a degree as a chemical engineer, and both applied to med school and interned in the industry and applied for jobs in the industry, and ultimately decided to become a chemical engineer and enter the energy industry. I originally hired on with Alumni Corporation and started working in Baton Rouge, and there was a need for an engineer at their plant in Pasadena. And so I moved to the Houston area to work for Albemarle Corporation in Pasadena, and then ultimately left Albemarle after working there for about 3 years and joined ExxonMobil in Baytown. So I started my career in a typical chemical engineer beginning role at a manufacturing site, supporting the day-to-day operations. That type of role gives people chances to understand what's really happening at the operating level. I would say the greatest challenge for me that's been pervasive throughout my career is getting comfortable myself with how I'm balancing my drive and my passion for my career, as well as my passion for my family. I'm a mom of 3. I've got a 19-year-old daughter that just started school at the University of Arkansas. I've got a 17-year-old son that's a junior in high school, and I also have a 6-year-old that just started kindergarten. I'm proud to say that in my last 4 roles, both as process managers at 2 different plants and then the plant manager at 2 different plants, I was the first woman to serve in those roles. The benefit that has allowed for me to be an example of someone that can have a high pressure job, a job that manages a lot of risk, and be an active mother and wife really has, I think, benefited all the females that have watched me over the years. Shortly after graduation and moving to Houston and entering the workforce, I could tell I had a lot of time on my hands. And so I wanted something to fill my time and was interested in pursuing a less technical field from an engineering standpoint and to broaden my skills. So I considered starting an MBA program, and the convenience and location and availability of classes at U of H Clear Lake met my needs perfectly. And so I began here and actually continued on for 3.5 straight years, coming to the campus a couple of nights a week and being able to work full time and achieve my goal of receiving my MBA. So one thing I've learned as a formal leader is this concept of being a coach versus just a mentor. The difference is mentors give advice and direct people. Coaches ask open-ended questions and help people find their own way. And there's been a number of people that have been advocates for me, coaches for me. But what I can say is for everyone that's ever given me critical feedback that it was hard for them to give and maybe hard for me to take, I thank them, because without that, I wouldn't have grown into the leader that I am today. So while I was serving as a leader in Baytown, I spent a lot of time supporting the United Way. And I had different roles there. Ultimately, I was a board member and also helped to start a group named Women United that tried to bring women leaders together in the community that had a passion around supporting what the United Way was doing to serve the people in the area. It's quite an honor to have received a phone call to say I was chosen out of all the people that have come through U of H Clear Lake to be chosen as someone to receive this award was a surprise to me. I also find it an honor to be able to be an example. It's really cool to be able to be an example of being a leader and a mother and a wife and a female. And so this is another opportunity for me to combine all of that and be a resource for people.